Like if I didn't go see the movie, I would just go to one of those sketchy online movie sites.
Oh, online movie sites.
Yeah.
Okay. Or like bootleg it from someone.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fandom Focus podcast. It is episode number 2, and we have mini microphones.
I can't stop looking at it. In the I can't stop looking at it in the camera. Aiden got tiny microphones. I think they're adorable. And I'm probably gonna be messing with it this entire podcast when I actually just put it on my shirt now, actually, so that I don't touch it. Because I know that if I keep holding it, I'm just gonna bother it.
So, this is episode 2, and me and Josh
Cute.
are meeting in person today.
Yes.
So, we are in an unexpected room, also known as a hotel room, but we are chilling.
Yeah.
We are chilling. So,
And good visits.
today I am going to see what we have for ideas today.
I know I want to talk about Beetlejuice at some point though, because the trailer came out. I'm really excited for it. I don't know if there's any Beetlejuice fans watching out there, but Beetlejuice Part 2 trailer came out. Michael Keaton's coming back. Winona Ryder's coming back. And I'm excited. Looks like it's going to be good stuff.
How are you, Josh?
I'm good.
That's good.
I mean, I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Other than that, I'm great. Other than that, I'm great.
But yes, so Coraline.
Oh, you want to talk about Coraline then?
Sure. Talk about Coraline.
Have you seen the TikToks on Coraline?
I've only seen the ones where it's like where you like how she didn't escape her town, like lore stuff like that. Because I'm always on like the horror side of TikTok.
Yeah, there's one particular TikToker right now. I forget her name. I'm gonna have to try and get her name before we release this episode. But she's been watching Coraline like back to back, and because the director of Coraline stated that everything in Coraline is done with purpose. Nothing is random. So in some movies, you might have a background of a hotel, and they're like, this is good. This is fine. Who cares? It's fine. It sets the scene. It's good to go. Coraline didn't do that. Like everything is put in that movie with purpose, and so this TikToker is just going through every single little bit of aspects of it. And she's found some crazy stuff. Like she's found some pretty weird stuff. There's the stuff like you said about how Coraline didn't actually escape, and then there's of course the grandma theory. Did you hear about the grandma theory?
No.
Okay, you know how there's YB? Why were you born? YB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the little kid YB, and he meets Coraline and they start chatting and stuff, and he tells Coraline near the beginning that he's never once set foot into the Pink Palace, and that he was actually really surprised when his grandma, who owns the Pink Palace and rents it out to all of the people there, he was very surprised when he found out that his grandma rented it out to someone who has a child because she never allows any children to go there ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then who was the one who gave Coraline the doll? YB.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if you
okay.
remember that scene, but YB's like, I found it on my grandma's truck or my grandpa's truck or something. I don't know what he found it on someone's truck, one of his relatives' truck. He found it like on the tailgate of his truck, and he took it and he went and took it and gave it to Coraline, the doll. So there's this theory that the grandma realized that YB, her grandson, was at the age that her sister was when she got taken by the I forget what the lady's name is now, but the scary lady, the bad lady. She realized that YB was at that age when when her sister got taken away. And so people are saying that she intentionally accepted Coraline's parents as renters because she knew that Coraline was around the same age that YB was, and she intentionally made sure that YB gave the doll to Coraline. and like set Coraline up to be killed. I don't know. It's dark. I I wish I reread the book because I read the book a while back. Um, and I don't remember. I know it's creepy, especially for a children's book because it is listed as a
Yeah.
children's book. That's why they made it a children's movie. But it's creepy,
Mhm.
just like the movie's creepy. It's good though.
There's so many movies like
It's a
that,
good movie.
that are just like creepy that has such a deeper meaning to it.
Yes.
Like I was telling you about Nine, and that's a movie I haven't seen since I was about 9.
I haven't rewatched that movie since like it was in theaters.
Yeah,
I haven't rewatched that movie. Um, but that's really crazy too because the you have the Nine is the one with the little doll people,
yeah,
and it was the human that creates the little dolls. But the way the little dolls like come to life is the human.
yeah,
So when you think about it, all of those little dolls are just like personality traits of the human, and
yeah. It's wild to think about.
it's 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 weird.
Cause yeah, they come alive with like the piece of like, oh, what is it?
Like
Is it literally a hair? I don't know what it is. It's like because they like get like stitched up and stuff, and they have like something inside there.
yeah, it's stitched up and something's inside them. But after he like stitches them up, at least this is what I remember. And like you said, you haven't watched it since you were 9. That was like what 5 years ago.
Yeah,
So probably around the same amount of years that it has been for me since I watched it. So this is all from memory. But from what I remember, there's a scene I kind of distinctly remember. It's when Nine is first coming alive, um, and he's shocked and scared because he sees like the old man's body.
oh yeah,
But there's like they do the whole like Frankenstein
yeah.
where it's like he has the things on the Frankenstein, and then the like
It's just
the the lightning. I was about to say electricity. I'm like, it's nature. What is the electricity in nature again? The lightning.
yeah,
The lightning hits the wads, and then it's like it's alive, blah blah blah.
yeah,
That's kind of what I remember, but it wasn't as dramatic. It was just a lot of green lights, lots of green lights, and lots of green flashes, and then Nine comes to life, and then it pans over to the old man, and obviously they don't show the old man's face because technically it's still intended for children,
yeah.
but the old man is like, and it's like it's very obvious that he's dead because he's just like slumped over and just you know.
Yeah.
Um, and from what I understand is he had to make a machine and put himself into the machine, and the machine was just like going to life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. He was basically God to these little beings.
Yeah, because it's like this weird post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah, it's a
Because
dystopian. It's a
yeah,
dystopian area because humanity is trying to stay alive, keep dying. Dystopian. I don't know. I love dystopians. You know another dystopian that's really good. The Maze Runner series.
the mazer. Oh
That
yeah.
was a great series. Um, really big fan of it. I love the Maze Runner series. Is his name Dylan O'Brien?
I don't know. I think I seen one of. I don't know.
You didn't watch them all of them?
No,
Oh, you only watched the one?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, but a long time ago.
Well, there's the Maze Runner, the Scourge Trials, and the Death Cure. All based off books by the same name. I read all the trilogies, but then they also had the Fever Code, which is a prequel to the Maze Runner, and it follows survivals after the Scorch. Um, and then you have what was the last one? The Fever Code, which is also a prequel, and that actually follows Thomas from the moment he's taken away from his mom and put and until the moment gets put into the maze. Lots of bad stuff happened, and it made me really angry. Honestly, that series actually just like, but it's really good at the same time. That's another really good dystopian series. Um, you probably remember Hunger Games more than you remember the Maze Runner
Probably.
because people talk about the Hunger Games all the time, which is also another dystopian area. And then you got me into this dystopian phase now. So, yeah. So I'm gonna talk about this because there was Harry Potter and there was Twilight, which a lot of people compared Harry Potter and Twilight all the time. And to this day, I'm really annoyed that they compared it because, first of all, Harry Potter is like listed for children 9 to 12. Twilight is listed for teenagers.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is about a little boy wizard, a little British boy wizard that goes to a little British wizarding school. Twilight is about a teenager that moves to Forks and meets vampires. Why are these books being compared? As a youngster, like literally when I was your age, in school, that was the biggest argument about kids in my class was Harry Potter or Twilight, Harry Potter or Twilight. And I like jumped into that because because I was dumb. I just thought, yeah, it makes sense. Two of the biggest books. Of course, we're gonna be arguing about which one's better. Now that I'm an adult, dumbest argument ever. Why are we comparing these two completely different books, like literally different age groups, different genres? Why are we comparing them? This is the dumbest argument I've ever had.
Which one do you think is better now?
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't like the author, but then I've also heard some sketchy things about Stephanie Meyer, so I don't really like either of the authors. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Harry Potter. Um, but after Harry Potter and Twilight was starting to wind down because the last Harry Potter movie was being released and the last Twilight movie was being released, they were starting to wind down. So I guess movie makers were like, we need to jump on the next big thing. We need to jump on the next big thing. And they went toward dystopian novels.
Mhm.
And that's why the Hunger Games was made. That's why the Maze Runner was made. And then they also made the Divergent series. Do you remember that one?
No.
Okay, the Divergent series was yet again um
Dystopian.
another dystopian one. But the way it was is they live in a big city, and in this city it's sectioned off in factions. Factions. They called it factions. So it's set off in 5 different factions. And then when a child turns, I think it was 16, because YA novel, it would have been 16. It wouldn't have been 18. Like it would have made sense if you had to choose when you were an adult when you were 18. But no, you don't do that in dystopian novels. It would have been 16, I think. And at 16 years old, you can choose. You have to choose like your faction, and you live in that faction for the rest of your life. And of course, they choose like most faction
Yeah.
because they choose the most coolest faction, and then that's what starts the novel because something changed. Um, and then that one came out. So those were like the three primary dystopian novels that came out between, I don't know, 2010, 2019. I don't know. I can't remember the timeline very well. Those are the two biggest dystopian novels, three biggest dystopian ones that came out. And people say the Divergent series is the one that killed the dystopian era because you don't really talk about dystopian novels nowadays nearly as much as you did back
Yeah.
then. But yeah, I don't know. I like dystopian. It's good. It's a good genre. I like it. I enjoy it.
No, I got the. Oh, now that we're talking about books, I got the entire FNAF series, like
Nice.
Silver Eyes, Twisted Ones,
Yeah.
and The Fourth Closet. It still throws me off to this day. It's called The Fourth Closet, but it's the third book.
Is there a reason they do
Yeah, yeah.
that? Okay.
Game theory.
Like it's part of the plot.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they do that.
Oh, there's such a deep
I don't like that.
explanation
How many books are there
for. Well, okay,
for FNAF?
the actual main ones that compete with the lore. There's three.
Okay.
There's the Silver Eyes,
Okay.
Twisted Ones, and Fourth Closet. All the other ones they still go with the lore, but it's not the main story. It's all of like the side characters. It's like all the side characters kind of still tell their story, and
Okay.
it still relates with
Like
the lore because
a spin-off.
yeah,
Yeah.
because someone actually did a deep dive into all of those books, and there's some stuff that is really important to the lore. So
Okay.
yeah,
Even the spin-off books?
yeah,
Even the okay.
but just not as much as see the main
That
books.
makes so much more sense now because every time I go to look for FNAF books because my nephew's getting into them. Uh it's just like 8 different books. Yeah. None of them are really like I'm not really into FNAF, so I didn't do all the research that you did into it, and I'm just like I don't know what books are which. I don't know what's relevant. I don't know what's part of the main timeline. None of that. I didn't realize it was a trilogy. Do you know if they're gonna make another book, or is it just gonna stay as a
Uh,
trilogy and then spin-offs?
yeah, I was probably gonna say like that because they made another one like a year ago. Like I say, I still think it's new, but it is the newest one.
Yeah.
Because they have Fazbear Frights, and then I think they have, Tales of the Pizza Plex. So that is
So the pizza place.
is
Alex?
the new game. That's they call the main part of the game the Pizza Plex.
Pizza place. Okay.
But
That
I
makes
think that
sense.
I don't know how many of those books there are, but that's just like another thing of spin-offs.
Do you enjoy them?
Yeah, I like.
Like you think they're good?
Well, I bought the first
Okay.
6 Fazbear Fright ones.
Yeah.
But I wanted to focus on the actual lore ones first.
Okay.
So I didn't read them, but like, cause it's really cool. It's like these big books with like I mean, books 1 to 3 in them, but it's all one book. Pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I like it when they do that. It's just,
so much easier.
first of all, it's easier to carry around. Second of all, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it lowers the price just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit lowers the price, which is always fun. Yeah, I like it when they do that with books. I think I have a Golden Compass series that did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had like the Golden Compass, the Amber Spyglass. Amber Spyglass? I don't know. Golden Compass is another trilogy, and I had the one big book in one. That was a good one. Um, but the books, though, like compared to the games, they hold up and they're good. Because I know that there's been times where you would buy a book that's based off a game series, and it's not that
Yeah.
good. So I'm always like cautious of reading stuff like that because I want it. Yes, I want more lore from the game series, but I want it to be good. I don't
Mhm.
want to feel like I'm reading fan fiction.
Well,
If I wanted to read fan fiction, I will go and read fan fiction. You know.
well, it's crazy to think about too, because most of the FNAF books, right? Like, it's it's still based off the game. I kind of forget about that because just the books are so good by themselves.
Okay, that's
But like
good.
all of the lore,
Yeah.
like you'd be able to find it without the books. But it's just
You'd be playing the game obsessively
yeah, and like
and over and over and over again, and you have to try and find all these tiny little beat pieces when you're not, getting scared,
exactly. But when you're
which I
reading the
wouldn't be able to
books,
do.
when you're reading the books, you're like, oh yeah, that's so obvious. That's there, and this is that,
And
and
then,
But
yeah, it just
like
makes the connections for
yeah,
you that in the moment you can't do
mhm,
because you're trying to stay alive.
exactly.
That's a good one.
Cannot
I'm
wait for the movie.
I'm so excited for that movie. Honestly, I wasn't like I said, I'm not as big into FNF as you are, so I wasn't super 100% excited. Like I knew I was gonna watch it, but I
Yeah.
wasn't 100% excited. Then I found out all the characters that are gonna be
Yeah, like
like
Matthew Lillard
there's
and
yes, Matthew Lillard.
oh, and that
Um,
other horror movie guy. He's like every villain
the
ever.
the other homo that's in every single villain ever. I can't remember the cast, but like okay, I'm terrible with names. I'm just terrible with names.
Yeah.
Like I there's some cast members from superhero movies like Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, all of them. Guys,
Yeah.
I can remember their names because I've watched so much of their movies over the years.
Yeah.
Like literally just them appearing as the exact same character over like 10 different movies. So I can remember their names. Other actors, I'll remember their faces and I'll remember the name of their character in another movie, but I won't remember their real name.
Yeah.
Like what the hell is his name? Peter Malak from Hunger Games. He's the main security guy
And
in
oh,
the
and
new FNAF movie. In the FNAF movie, he's gonna be the main security. He's gonna be like brutally slaughtered.
oh, so
Mhm.
sure. Like when you like
Well, depending on how, because like you know how you, the player, is playing
yeah.
as the new security guard. That's who he's playing in the
Oh.
movie, and I'm just like, they're gonna kill this man.
It depends what part of the storyline they
Okay,
go.
okay. Depending on the part of the storyline that they go for, they're gonna kill us.
That's another thing I was excited for too, because I don't know what part of the storyline they're gonna do. If they're gonna do like the middle, the end, the prequels. Because if you just do the first book that you read, it's gonna be pretty straightforward and like a pretty decent movie. But like
Okay.
I wonder if they're gonna make more movies.
Are you still upset that it's not rated R?
See, yeah, that's what I was. I don't think it'd be rated R. At least maybe like TV 14.
We
Feel like it's PG-13. They can't
It's
even
PG
show
13.
anything. They can't
Yeah.
show gore. All that they can show is blood.
Okay, you sent me that one video once, and I was grossed out by it, and it was just an animation, and it was which one was it?
Springlock scene.
The spring lock scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the spring. You showed me the spring lock scene. That was
See,
just an
that's what
animation, and
I
I was
want
just
to
like,
see in the movie, but they're not gonna be able to show
like,
that in the
like
movie.
I was throwing up as I'm watching it. It's just an anime. I don't know why I can't handle gore anymore. When I was your and you and your brother's age, like no problem, didn't bother me. And then I don't know, something shifted, and now the simplest thing just makes me want to just yeah. And Springtrap was one of those things, but they won't be able to show that now because it's
Yeah,
not rated R.
it was
The
so
only
sad.
upside to it is you can actually go see it
That's the only upside.
because you couldn't before. That's the only thing I would say that is good came out of that. You can go see the movie now. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Like
Yeah.
if I didn't go see the movie, I would just go to one of those sketchy online movie
No.
sites.
Oh, online movie sites.
Yeah.
Okay. Or like bootleg it from someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
With random
anything
ads
to
every
make
time you
sure
go.
it gets done. I think my sister bootlegged a movie once, but this was back before um uh, on the sketchy online sites. So it would actually be like on a disc. So
Oh.
we would bootleg some DVD disc. I think she bootlegged a DVD once. It was supposed to be some horror movie, but it was just The Lion King. Like, I think it showed the horror movie like the first 5 6 minutes or so, and then it just became The Lion King. That would blacked out. I can't remember, or maybe it was two different incidences, and I'm just mixing them up into one. But she bootlegged some movies, and there was just a black screen, and then, or she bootlegged a movie, and it was like ended up being a children's movie. I don't know. It was weird, but it was don't bootleg movies, kids.
Yeah.
uh,
But yeah, because like all of the TikToks on my For You page as soon as the FNAF movie got announced, I forget
was just
when it.
FNAF.
Yeah,
It
well,
was just all FNAF scenes.
I forgot when it get announced. Forgot when again. I forgot when it got announced. Like, but what's it called? Like all of the TikToks were just like everyone else during the spring walk scene, and it was like, oh my god, and then me, and it was just like,
And you just eating popcorn. uh,
but yeah, because like they're not gonna be able to show anything, and I don't know what they're gonna do.
I I don't know when they have to work around ratings and stuff, they can get pretty creative with how they work around that, with how they work around the rules that they have to follow. They can get really creative with it, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
It's hard to say. They might have a like they might have a PG-13 rated one and then a R rated one.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how often movie companies to honestly do that.
Well,
Like you've heard of Justice League and then Zack Snyder's Justice League.
yeah,
I don't know how often they do that though.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure they're gonna do that because Scott is like the big boss man of it all of the FNAF movie. He's gonna
Oh, is
want to,
he
yeah, because
the original maker?
yeah, he's the original
Oh,
maker,
that's
and
awesome.
he's directing the FNAF movie.
Good for him.
But he's like retiring. I think he said he's gonna make maybe another FNAF movie if all goes well, and then he's gonna.
I, personally, I think he should make a trilogy, but that's just because I like the number.
Yeah.
It's like have a nice little trilogy, and get to go. Then again, it is a duology, like duo,
Yeah, I
duo,
know. I don't know what the
duology.
word is.
I can't remember. I can't remember if it's duology or duology, but it is a duology, and that series is fantastic. So, it's that's another movie you haven't watched.
Yeah. What is it rated? Is it R?
I think it's 14,
Okay.
but it depends on which one you watch because there's the '80s one.
Oh,
Yeah, there's the '80s version, which
We should do that again.
I think
we
it's
watch.
hilarious.
I know we should do the 80s one.
I love 80s horror movies because to me they're not scary.
Yeah.
Well, some of them still have a creepy factor, but other ones they're just kind of funny. Uh, but there's the 80s version, which I don't even know what rating it is, and then there's the 2017 version, which is also some rating that I don't know what it is because I didn't pay attention. All I know is it was good movies.
I can remember when we
Both
watched
really good.
when we watched Jaws. That was so.
Jaws is like Jaws and Predator. Um, those were both movies that my older brothers watched, and they were terrified of them. And then then we rewatched them, and they're both sitting there like, I don't know why I thought this was scary. In the moment, you think it's the most terrifying, amazing, unique thing, and then you rewatch them years later, and they still hold up. They're still amazing movies, and I love them, and they're great. They're not scary. At least not to me. They're not scary. And I don't know. Honestly, the Jaws that we watched, and it was the first Jaws. 1st of all, that was the first Jaws that we watched. But the Jaws that I remember watching, it had a kid in it.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of like
I
probably.
think that was like the third one
Yeah,
or the second. I don't know. I can't remember them. We have to rewatch. We gotta rewatch the second and third one at some point.
we should have a bonus episode
Yes.
where it's just us watching an 80s movie
And
or
80s
something.
and laughing. Okay, if we do that, we gotta watch The Lost Boys.
I think
It's
I heard it before.
It's 14A. How many months is it? October, November, December. Give it 3 months. You can watch it. You can watch it in 3 months. It's great. It's hilarious. There was one scene that actually freaked me out. Like I was like, and it was hilarious because at the time that I was watching it with my buddy, and we were just laughing and making fun of something that happened and how stupid it looked. But then something else happened immediately afterward, and both of us screamed. We actually had a proper jump scare from it. But yeah, we should watch that movie next.
Shit.
If we do that, if we watch the old 80s movies, we should do that.
We should.
Then again, I don't know if The Lost Boys was made in the 80s. I think it was made in the 90s. Oh well,
Maybe.
we'll figure it out.
It
It's
was
gonna be
weird though,
great.
'cause Jaws was the 70s,
Oh yeah, I forgot it was the 70s.
but it's like
Yeah, I remember I was Googling it and I thought, oh, 70s. I don't think this is gonna be that great.
yeah, and it was not that great.
But it was good.
It was still good.
It was good to reminisce. It
Yeah,
wasn't that good,
the
great, but it was
shark
good to
was
reminisce.
like not even
I love
funny.
Shark.
Like
Did you watch the Meg too?
I watched the first one. I don't think I watched the second.
Okay, the Meg that actually checks out because I think it's still in theaters. I went to go watch the Meg 2 in theaters, and you think Jaws was bad? The stuff that they have, Jason Statham, pretty sure that's the actor's name. Can't remember. I'm bad with names. The stuff that they have him do in the Meg 2, and the way they have him kill people, kill the Meg and stuff, is so cheesy. Like I'm just watching it and I'm thinking, no. At least make it realistic
Just
when you
this
have a
would never
single
happen.
man kill a Meg. At least a tiny bit realistic. And I'm watching this and I'm just thinking, no.
You're just in the theater and just like, then this would never happen.
I enjoyed the popcorn.
Exactly.
That's about it. I'm just like, Uh, it's good though. Yeah, we have a long to watch list to watch.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's time though.
it is time.
Yeah.
Time goes by fast when you're talking with
William.
friends.
I thought you were imitating that Muppet for a second, and then you stopped. So, what is it? Come it. Time goes by when you have it. I can't do a comment imitation. I'm not even gonna try. That's what I was thinking of though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yes, so thank you guys for watching the second episode of the Fan and Focus podcast. If you guys want to go watch the first one, it is out right now. And the episode it will be right. Oh, not right there, right here. So you guys can go watch that. It's tiny
I
mic.
turned it off. My bad. It's by the tiny mic.
Yes, it's by the tiny mics right here, guys. So if you want to go check that out, feel free to do so. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice evening or day wherever you guys are.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Same. Get out of here. Blow into the mic.